You ever mess up and someone points out the fact that you messed up and that they're not angry or anything like that because they're directly affected by the mess up. Um, they're, they're affected by it. It's your fault. 100% your fault. You know 100% it's your fault. The person that it affects points it out and isn't angry at all. In fact, they're just saying, look, just be careful, please. But for some reason, you're still pissed off. That's happened to me a couple of times now, and it happened to me today in work. Like, I'm literally just out of work. This incident happened about an hour ago. More than an hour ago, actually. But I still have not calmed down. Like, I get that I sound fine, but I'm still pissed off, and maybe subconsciously I'm pissed off at myself. But I, like, externally, um, like, in my conscious side of my brain, I'm thinking, fuck you. Even though she was kind about it, and it was 100% my fault. So I don't know why I'm like that, but I am. So I'm just gonna do this, and hopefully it'll calm me down because I don't want to go home pissed off and then have to explain to my family why I'm pissed off. I'd rather just be, I was work, fine, and then believe me when I say that. So Avatar 2009. To be clear, I'm just gonna call it Avatar in the title because if I were talking about The Last Airbender, I would have said Avatar TLA in the title. If I was talking about the live action Last Airbender, I would have just said The Last Airbender. Um, so yeah, this is just Avatar. Yeah, bonus. Speaking of colds, it's been a long time since I gave an update on work. I think the last time I did it was when I was suspended, when I was a traffic warden, which was 14 months ago. 14 and a half, actually. I'm not going to give an update here, but what I will say is that since then I have become a carer. I'm no longer a traffic warden. And what happened in this client's house that could be part of the reason why I'm pissed off. It could be the 100% the reason. I just don't know. It's a subconscious thing. But the client's neighbor came to the front door while I was working, and she coughed really loudly, and the wife of the client pointed out that's a really loud cough. She either mentioned her definitely having a cold, or just she hopes she doesn't have a cold. But if if you've noticed in my most recent videos, I've been blowing my nose quite a bit because I've just got over a cold. I'm still on the I still need to blow my nose, but that's about it. So if I wake up tomorrow and I have a cold, I'm gonna be really pissed off because I'd like there to be quite a big gap between me having a cold. But going back on track, directed by James Cameron, I watched it on Disney Plus. Universally positive ratings, starring Zoe Saldana, Sigourney Weaver, Michelle Rodriguez, Joel David Moore, Stephen Lang, Laz Alonso, CCH Pounder, Giovanni Ribisi, Deborah Wilson. I don't know about Jermaine Clement. Um, I can't remember much from Avatar 2. What I do remember is that I enjoyed the film, which is the reason why I watched this, and I plan on watching Avatar 3 when it comes out. And Avatar is currently my phone's wallpaper. Um, but comparing what I do remember of that film to this, Avatar 2 is so much better because Avatar 1 is just very, very generic in terms of plot. Like, I was talking to my friend's cousin about it, because the cousin just constantly joins the PlayStation parties and annoys all of us. But he's a big Avatar fan. And I said that to him, and he was like, oh, well, he compared it to Romeo and Juliet, and I was like, no, I wouldn't want to compare it to Romeo and Juliet, because there's no suicide, um, which is kind of the big thing of Romeo and Juliet. But no, it really is Romeo and Juliet, because something I forgot about, I keep on saying Romeo and Juliet, is that Romeo's family and Juliet's family are enemies of each other. Like, if you were to modernize the play, it would be like the daughter of the CEO of Coca-Cola falling in love with the daughter, or the son of the CEO of Pepsi. That's what Romeo and Juliet is like. And in the case of Avatar, it is, a human and a Na'vi. And technically, they're not at war with each other yet, but you know what I mean. And speaking of that whole sort of comparing it to real life, I get Romeo and Juliet isn't real life, but you know what I mean. Speaking of that, sorry, I'm recording this in the car. Like, I've literally just finished work, and there was a couple that were walking their dog, and they passed by my car, but I heard them before I saw them and scared the shit out of me. Anyway, I seen a video, I don't know when, it was years ago, going over why people don't like Avatar. And the main point that he made was the fact that it's a very, very lazy metaphor. For example, the CEO guy, like Giovanni's character, his name is Selfridge. Selfridge. And he is a very selfish character. It's like naming the killer Miller in a detective story. And yeah, that's a fair point, but I wouldn't say people don't like Avatar. I think what it is just, I mean, I was 5 years old when Avatar came out. I don't remember what it was like when the film came out, but I remember the aftermath where no one has seen it. I couldn't name you anyone that had actually watched the movie, but somehow it was the most profitable movie in the world for 10 years. So that's the thing about Avatar, that somehow no one has watched it. No one can tell you a single fucking thing about it, other than it's about blue people. But yet it's the most profitable film in the world. I keep on saying profitable wrong, but you get the point. So it wasn't that people hate it. No one hates Avatar. But the points that the guy made were still valid. It's just I disagree with them, because I like the film. So it's not that the metaphor is generic. It's that the writing for everything else is, because it's Romeo and Juliet. Sam Worthington's accent in this film is mostly consistent. Like, it mostly sounds like the way he sounds in Black Ops. I love his American accent. I've never heard what his natural Australian accent is, but there are some times in this film, especially in the voiceovers, where he sounds Australian, and it basically just sounds like his American accent, but with a twang to it. I think this is the first American film that he's done, so it could be just that he was inexperienced at the time of doing American accents. But who knows? I'm trying to think of what else to say. This film is on for 2 hours and 40 minutes, and yet the whole thing of Jake falling in love with Neytiri, it happens so quick, and I just don't think I don't want to say realistic, because that doesn't sound right. Not because it's sci-fi. Sci-fi can be realistic, but it's just it's off-putting. It's wrong, and a lot of romance things will do that, where the characters just fall in love like that when there's no sort of build up to it. Because when they first meet, Neytiri just sees him as just yet another human who doesn't understand their ways and never will be able to understand their ways. But then he goes through the training and all that, and he passes all the tests and all that, and he becomes acknowledged as a Na'vi. And then she says to him that what happens now is that he can pick a mate for life. And during that scene, it was like, are the women consenting though? Because the way that the sentence was worded is very concerning. But then Jake says, I don't want them. There's someone I have my eye on, but as long as she also has her eye on me. And she says, yes, I do. And that's it. That's how they fall in love. And it's not like they need to, have a fucking voiceover from Neytiri being like, oh, he's growing on me. Oh, I just realized I love him. I'm not saying we need that. It's just it feels kind of like a lot of the crime shows that I watch, like Castle and The Mentalist and all that, where all of them, bar Elementary, the main character and the sidekick fall in love, even though their personalities are way too different. I get opposites attract and all that, but it's just, if you watch the first couple seasons of Castle, or the first couple seasons of The Mentalist, you would think the Castle and Beckett and Patrick and Teresa, you would think they don't fall in love because they're just too different. Like, sure, Castle and Jane grow on the other two, and they become friendly. That's fine, no problem with that, but falling in love, I think that's a step too far. I don't mind the fact that they fall in love in Avatar, but it's just, there needs to be a bigger build up to it, especially since this is a 2 hour and 40-minute movie. You would think that there is a big build up to it. I've never seen Titanic, but that's somewhere around the same length, maybe a little longer, and I would imagine that they spend the majority of the film building up to it, where they fall in love, and it's not just, yeah, I love you now. I like the film. It's not bad. It's just, it's so generic. Like, the only thing that it has going on for itself that makes it stand out among other similar things is the fact that there's the Na'vi instead of it just being Human 1 and Human 2. I'm excited for Avatar 3, even though it seems like that James Cameron is now just watching The Last Airbender for ideas. I still am excited for it. The next game will only have a end review. I'll go into more details as to why when I do that review, but it will be a while because it's a visual novel. The next game after that is exactly the same. As for films, Avatar 3 will be coming soon, but it will be at least a week. I'm recording this on Sunday. The film releases on Friday, but I'm working on Friday, and then it's Dylan's birthday on Saturday, so Sunday is the earliest I can watch it. What else? Yeah, I think that's it. There should be a show review coming soon. Something else I should explain for work is that I get a massive break. It's like a 2 hour break. But because the break happens at rush hour, and it's at least a 25-minute drive between here and my house, I don't think it's worth it. because I only got about an hour of free time, and it just seems like a waste of time and a waste of petrol. So what I do is I have a bunch of stuff downloaded on my phone that I'll watch on my break. Avatar was one of the things that I watched, and now I'm moving on to a new show. The next day I'm working is Wednesday, so I should have the first episode finished by then, and I'll be able to do the review.